Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to discuss something that's kind of been on my mind. So, I'm sure a lot of you know UFC 6 is already in development, and one of the things that there are a lot of things that I would like to see implemented in the next game, but today's video I want to specifically talk about like the creative fighter system. Now, not much has actually changed as far as this version compared to like previous versions, like among EA Sports UFC 3, 4, and now 5. Not much about the character creation has changed. We're actually going to go right in here real quick. This is my Francis Ngannou character, by the way. It's a decent. I think it looks decently amount like him, but if I go over to men's division here. We have our different, archetypes. Um, it's not really where I'm going to focus on. I'm going to focus on like simple things, right? Like even stuff like first name, right? There's a lot that's lacking in this current creative fighter system, right? Like if I want to name my character John, right? Um, I think it's crazy to me that no matter what first name that you pick, right? Whether it's John, Cody, like whatever your first name is, Bruce Buffer will not, you know, when your fire's getting introduced, Bruce Buffer will not call out a first name. It'll be a combination of a nickname plus the last name, or maybe just a nickname, right? It's you have all these choices for like a last name, right? But no real first name. I mean, it's kind of weird, right?
This is the voice of a champion.
I
Are you
mean, I guess
there?
it's kind of cool that you can choose your
Welcome to
own
my
voice.
house.
That's something at least. But let me go over to another kind of pet peeve of mine. Right, all the hairstyles. Right, like I, for the most part, right. Um, I feel like there should just be more styles, man. And I think for the most part, there aren't enough just like normal looking haircuts, right? Like if I want to try to pick something that's like close to like what I have now, I think the closest thing would probably be like something like this, maybe that. Actually, yeah, that's kind of close, but I think we just need more options, man. Like I don't need more like ridiculous options that like where are they? I don't necessarily need hairstyles like this, even though I'm sure it's interesting to make a character with this kind of thing, right? I don't need this whole werewolf vibe. I don't like it's not what I want. It's not what I need. I just need more hair and facial hair options that like that will just make my guy look normal, like take me for example, right? I can't really grow much besides like this area, right? And the closest thing I have is it's probably like this option right here. But even then, it's not like a true representation because like the mustache area, like if I'm just using myself as an example, like this mustache area is like actually already way thicker than what I have now. So thicker and darker. So there are like no real normal beards, man. If I want just like basic like stubble or just like if I want something that's maybe like this style but just trimmed down a little bit more, like I don't have that option, right? It's just there are a lot of things that are lacking, man. And like even like tattoos, right? That like I do appreciate the fact that like right, I have the ability to like resize tattoos and whatnot. Actually, let me put this on your back. Right, we can stretch it, we can shrink it. I do like that, right? The that area of customization I do appreciate, but point being, like there should be more options, right? The one of the bigger things, one of the biggest game modes that should be like replayable for like offline players is career mode. And if they can't, make a character that looks like him, that's supposed to represent them, they can't get like really immersed. But there is another company that's made quite a few games. I haven't really played them, but they do have a really good creation system, and that's actually 2K. Now, I've actually like recently started to dabble a little bit in the WWE 2K 24, I think. It's one of the free games on PlayStation Plus, the monthly games, but let me actually show you what their creative system looks like. Okay, so I've actually been trying to create a character that looks like myself here. So if I go to Superstar, edit my custom Superstar, right? I mean, look at this, right? Hold on. Let me see if I can zoom in here, right? Oh, yeah, you can see all the tattoos and stuff. Actually, face, maybe. Alright, it looks kind of weird because I don't have hair on this model, right? But actually, let me move my face cam here a little bit, right? Let me just kind of do it like this, right? It looks weird because there's no hair, but you guys can tell that this model is supposed to be me, right? Like, it looks enough like me that you can tell, like, who this is supposed to be, right? I mean, the detail is, like, kind of insane, right? And it's not just the face either. Hold on, let me bring this back down a little. Right? It's not just the face, man. Like, I have like look, I have several tattoos, right? Most of them are on my arm. Got like this Mjolnir. If I can find the right angle. Hold on. Ah, if I can find the right angle to show it. But point is, I have a lot of tattoos. And this game introduces like face photo capture, which is how you're able to implement your face. But let's just look at this, right? Like, those are my tattoos. I was able to implement all of this, right? You know how freaking cool that is? That like I can take the time to take pictures of like not just my face, but like my freaking tattoos and my logo, my YouTube logo on and like put it on my freaking tights. You know how freaking cool that is? Yeah, I wish that there was a level of like customization like this in a UFC game, right? Because yeah, sure, I might be able to make a character that looks somewhat like me, right? Okay, so I actually managed to get a screenshot of these two characters together. On the left, you have my character from my Xbox account that I actually went through UFC 5 career mode with. Try to make them look as much like me with the tools that the game has given me. Obviously, the tattoos were the closest things that I could find compared to what I had in real life at the time, and compared that to WWE 2K's on the right. I mean, difference is night and day. I mean, obviously, WWE 2K has the face capture feature, which I mean just makes it so much clearer of like who my character is supposed to be. Not to mention that the ability to transfer over tattoos plays a pretty big role too. So, I mean, I just wanted to have that reference for you guys as well. Okay, granted, like another thing that I wish both games had would be like body morphing, right? If I want to like make my chest or my arms bigger or smaller, I wish it had that option, but that's not a thing in either game, right? But this EA Sports needs to learn from this, man. Like, you don't need to copy this whole system that 2K has like verbatim, but like, can you bring back like photo game face or something, right? Like, can you at least bring back that? I remember having photo game face in I think it was EA Sports UFC 1 and 2, and I was actually able to make characters that looked pretty damn close to my face, right? Like, it's crazy what 2K is able to do, right? you're able to do this, and like you can't do stuff like this in the most like recent version of a UFC game. Like it's insane what you can do. Like this needs to be the standard when it comes to like being able to create characters, right? I know this is gonna be just like me ranting, but I mean, like, I'm passionate about this, right? Look at this. If I go to personal information, right, if I want, right, I can choose my name to be like Lobo, whatever, but also, um, actually, no, presentation name, right? Yeah, here we go, right? I can have my nickname. Here's another thing, right? I can have, I have the option to have like my nickname before my first name, or I could have like my first name, then my nickname, last name, or I could have like, you know, my first name, last name, and then my nickname, right? Like that's kind of cool, right? Because like a lot of fighters like have nicknames, right? But the placement of their nickname isn't always the same, right? Like you have the Reaper, Robert Whitaker, right? Then you have Cody, No Love Garbrandt, right? Like they have nicknames, but the placement of where their nickname is like is different, right? And I love that you have like this ability, like this option to go this to have this depth of you know of detail. I'm so passionate. I'm like struggling to find the words to explain my emotions, right? This is this stuff that I love, man. I can appreciate this. Look at that handsome bastard, right? You can tell that's supposed to be me. That well, that's who I want to be, right? I'm not that jacked in real life, but you get my point, right? I, UFC 6 probably won't even have anything close to this. In all honesty, the created fighter system is probably going to be the exact same that we got for UFC 5, but maybe with like a couple new tattoos added, right? And it just needs to change, man. EA needs to do better. Really does. Just that's my rant for today, man. I'm sure I'm gonna have more rants about what the next EA Sports UFC game should do, but am I crazy? Like, do you guys agree? Would you love to see something implemented like this in a UFC game? Like, let me know down in the comments. See y'all in the next one. Peace.